Welcome to our daily countdown for the Audacious Leaders Summit. My name is Mark Hain.
And I'm Jean Howard, and I'm excited to be here today, Mark.
Because we're going to be talking about the Audacious Leaders Summit. Oh, I'm so sorry I cut you off.
I
Sorry
know,
about that.
that's all right. I always have a lot to say, though. But I want to talk about audacious leaders and the notion of summit, the notion of community, the notion of getting together with others who are in your flock. And that's one of the things that our events and our community can really create for you, is introduce you to other people who are as driven as you are, as organized as you are, as scared as you are, as challenged as you are, as successful as you are, or more. We become the people we hang out with. And audacious leaders should hang out with audacious leaders.
So, what does it mean to be audacious?
Well, I don't have Webster's definition
To
right
you,
at the
though,
tip
what does
of
it mean
my
to you?
tongue. What does it mean to me? It
Yeah.
means being uncomfortable. It means to be brave enough and courageous enough to try something and deal with the consequences, whatever that is. If it's failure, hooray! Here's one less failure we have to have and one less door that is an option for us. If it's success, hooray, hooray! We've gone down the path and risked something. We've been brave, courageous, and we've done something that has brought us, great reward. And
What a
it
great
seems,
definition.
well, thank you.
Well done off the top of your head.
Audacious, I think, like they say, success creates success. Audaciousness creates audaciousness. And it is so great when you have people around you who are supporting you, who are cheering you on, who are giving you guidance or showing you insights or little secrets that can help you along your way. And our group of audacious people are leaders. They're leaders in their business, in their community, in their nonprofits, but they are courageous enough to take on that role and know that they need to continue to learn, because every day is new and different. And as you say, change is constant.
Did you know that I spent years and years and years in the kitchen? I don't know if you knew that about me.
No.
And I love reading. I love reading books about culinary arts, about the history of culinary and stuff. And it was really interesting. I came across something this morning. I was reading the Ma Gastronomie by Frederick Point, and he's the inspiration behind the Disney movie with the rats.
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille. He was the
I
inspiration behind
love
that.
Ratatouille.
But it was interesting because he says, in all professions, without a doubt, but certainly in cooking, one is a student for life. Right? And
Well said.
that was back in 1930s he wrote that.
In all professions.
In all professions.
Oh.
And so, this idea that we need to constantly push ourselves forward, we need to constantly push what we know or what we think we know and test it. And like you said, you mentioned this idea about failure. It's this idea that when I had this discussion with my mom, hi, Mom, if you're watching, I had this discussion with my mom about, when we fail, you always learn something when you fail. And so we shouldn't be so scared about failing. And I know that we're brought up in the corporate world. Once we get past the, try again, right? Phase of our lives, we get into the corporate world and it's like, we lost money. Right? But we learn something from it each and every time.
Well, and that brings me to the notion of stakeholders, of triple bottom line, of customers. And I happen to know somebody real close to me now who is a customer experience expert. And that person is going to be presenting and talking about uncovering the mysteries of that customer experience and helping businesses to see their services through the eyes of the customer and make that an excellent experience.
Are you
And
talking
this
about me?
person is
Are you talking about
Mark
me?
Twain. Yes. And Mark is really an amazing guy, as you know, because you watch these, in that he has taken care of customers in a variety of different ways throughout his life. I'm sure he can tell you more about himself, but I'm going to tell you something about him. He's been in the restaurant business, in the hospitality business. He's been in every station in a restaurant and understands that the customer experience is the key to success. He took that knowledge, that experience, and that wisdom gained over many, many years. Well, he's not that old, but many years. And he brings it to his client, and he's going to share with us just how to look at their experience and how to make it the best thing ever. And they're little things. It's not always the big things, they're the little things.
Well, and
Mark,
it's
you want to say
amazing.
anything more
Yeah,
about that?
I came across something, and that's when I started doing acting, and then I wrote my book, Selfish, little plug there.
Yeah.
I wrote the book. I wrote the book on this stuff, and what people fail to realize is that their customers aren't the same throughout the course of their journey. The customers change up, their
Mm,
needs change up, their questions and their concerns change throughout the course of somebody's journey. And so, in my presentation, Engagealytics, uncovering the mysteries of your customer's experience journey, we're going to talk about the various different paths. And so the paths, very quickly, I'll give you a little sneak peek. The paths are all here. It's all here. This is what we're going to be talking
yeah.
about in my session. And it's interesting and it's exciting because, once you start reframing and looking at your customers a different way, you get to serve them better. And so it's exciting.
Yeah. That's great. Well, Engagealytics? You asked me about Audacious. Can you define Engagealytics?
Well, we're looking at engagement, and we're looking at how do we analyze each step of that journey within their customers' engagement journey with us. So it's being able to look at a certain milestone that they're reaching and saying, what questions are they asking? What are their needs at this milestone? Because ultimately,
So,
what we
yeah,
want to do is we want to get all our customers into the realm of ambassadorship so that they
right.
talk about
Yeah.
our business. They're the ones advertising for us, and we are able to then become the leader in our marketplace. And everybody's looking at you going, I don't know what he's doing. That's so different.
Yeah, and I hope that during your presentation, you talk not just about the customer's journey and how it changes throughout that trip, but you also talk about how customers have changed over time. And
Yes.
I think about just visiting the doctor. Well, in 1955 or 1960, when my mother would go to the doctor, yes, sir. Yes, that's exactly what. By the way, it was always a sir. Maybe there was a woman doctor, but yes, sir, we'll do that. Yes, sir. Blah blah blah. Yes, you want me to take this? And nowadays, when somebody goes to the doctor, they're not king. I have many doctors' friends who say that medicine is but an art. So now they're asking all kinds of questions. And I know for myself and my business, the customers come up with different questions and they expect different things. They want different things. In the world of COVID, if they go out to dinner once a month, bundle up, put on the mask, make sure they're going someplace that's well protected, they want an excellent experience.
It
And
has
A
to be an
number
experience.
one. It does.
I
And
used to
so
train I used to train all my staff in the restaurants that every time somebody goes out to come to the restaurant, they're having a mini event in their own right.
yes. Yeah, they are. And if we look at that, we take for granted, oh, we're eating out, eating out. We can't take it for granted. Restaurants have been closed for a long time. So
Yeah.
it's not as though going out to dinner is like having a wedding, right?
Yeah.
But it is an event. And these days, it's even more special than perhaps it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, you're not the only one talking.
No,
There are a bunch of other people. And there
they
was
are.
one other fellow that we wanted to talk about, Tony.
Yes, so we only have about 30
John.
seconds left. So I just want to quickly introduce you to John Hansen. If you've followed my
John.
podcast, he's been on my podcast a couple of times. My podcast, Mark Hain Live and Experienced Leadership, a couple of times. He is a host of his own podcast. And he is absolutely brilliant when it comes to, again, customer experience, but also what does it mean to be a leader creating experiences? And so he's going to be talking about the 3 precious resources you can leverage as a leader. And it's a brilliant, brilliant presentation.
Yeah, I want to say something about your podcast. I realize we're out of time, but I'm going to take this extra minute and say, the podcast, you're checking into Mark's podcast and the visitors that he has had, will give you a little insight into the kinds and the quality of speakers that we have at this gathering, the quality of people that we have in our community. And I hope you'll come on down January 21st and 22nd. I know we're out of time. Any last words, Mark?
No, just join us. We are extending our early bird rate. So to get in on it, it is, how much is it again?
$349.
$349.
US dollars. So if you're anywhere in the world like Tonga, you're pretty wet right now. But if you want to join us, it's, it's $349 US dollars.
We've extended it on. For us, it's about this idea of passing on the knowledge and helping you leverage the best our experts have to give you. And so we look forward to seeing you there. In the meantime, we will connect with you. Tomorrow, we'll be back on for another 10-ish or so minutes. So we'll see you then.
Yeah, I love talking about this. Bye-bye, Mark. Bye, everybody. See you soon.